Scrapbooking with Brittany Nicole. Thank you for your patience with me. I know I haven't posted a video in a week, and I now have 3 videos set to go this coming week, and hopefully for the rest of the month of December. But trying to juggle moving, Canadian holidays, American holidays, work, and the kids schooling from home has been a bit more of a challenge than I had thought. But today I am sharing a double page layout, and I am using a sketch that I created. And so if you guys want to use the sketch, I'd love to see what you create with it. And if you just use the Facebook group link in the description box below and you click files, then you'll have access to the PDF.
So here's the sketch that I am using today, and I am stretching this sketch. So as you can see, I've already done the base parts of the layout. This is one way that I approach my stash to sketch inspired layout kits. I have 2 different methods. One is I put everything that's going to go in the on the layout, I put in a 12 by 12 page protector, or I have it already adhered to a 12 by 12 background paper, and then I have all the embellishments I want to use there. So as you can see, I was showing you to create some of the embellishments that I wanted to utilize on this layout. I used my star punch and a small circular scallop punch. And what I was actually doing with that is because there's so many photos, I'm able to fit 8 4 by 3 photos. The math's killing me. But anyway, able to fit 8 4 by 3 photos on the layout. And so just to keep track of what's going on in every photo, I punched out a star, and then I put a 7/8 of an inch circle scallop punch on top of the star. And then just did very minimal journaling, just so I know what's going on. So what I like about this sketch that I created is I felt like it allowed me to get 2 4 by 6 photos on my layout. And when I stretch it, I decided to turn those 2 4 by 6 photos into 4 by 3 photos. And then when I stretched it, that's how I get the 8. And then I did a lot of fussy cutting for this layout. You can see all the florals on the top right-hand corner of the screen and the top left-hand corner of the screen were all fussy cut out from a pattern paper. And then I'm using just bits and pieces, mostly from Hip Kit Club exclusives. And those sneakers I really love because we were going on a walk. We had discovered this really amazing nature trail here, and we loved it. And we learned that you can get bird seeds. I'm just looking at the original sketch to see where I want to place my embellishment clusters. That's the one thing that I find to be a bit more challenging when I stretch my sketches, is determining where I want the embellishment clusters to go, because in a perfect world, when I have a 2-page layout, I want each page to be able to visually stand on its own, and then when they come together, look cute together. This layout is actually hanging up in our house for decoration now, but I had to balance it out. So that's why I switched some of the blue scallop circles for yellow. And there you can see, I wanted to have you guys see that I didn't get the entire paper, but that was okay, because the part that didn't get the scallop punch, because I didn't have enough paper, is hidden behind the photo. So I want to let you guys just think about it. I'm doing it again right there. Is just because you don't have the exact right amount doesn't mean you still can't use that leftover bit of paper or that scrap piece. Oftentimes you can hide that it's not completely perfect. That's sort of one thing that I've started to do a lot of, and I find that it really lets me stretch my stash significantly, and also it just helps me with my designs. It allows me to play with more color. But anyway, back to the photos. So this place is just really amazing, and we learned that when you go there, there's a lot of chickadee birds, and you can get sunflower seeds or some kind of bird feed seeds there, or you can buy them from a pet store and bring them. And we didn't know this, so when we first went, the kids were literally scouring on the ground for seeds, and then all the rock on the right layout the kids realized that there was perfectly good seeds at the top of the rock for some reason. And so that is what motivated them to climb to the top of the rock, is because they wanted to get more bird seeds to try to get these chickadees to come to your hand. Because what they'll do is they'll rest on your fingertips and eat the seeds. And sometimes even without seeds, they'll come rest on your fingertips. And I've only had it happen to me once, but it is such a fun, magical feeling. The kids thankfully had it happen to them multiple times, particularly Bryce and his older cousin. The chickadees seem very drawn to them for some reason. It's really cute. But that's why I have those sneakers. That's why those sneaker embellishments are on this layout, is because it was all themed around a walk. So in my mind, if we're going to go on a walk, we're going to wear our runners. And then I used the watermelons because this was still summertime in Canada for us, and I always associate watermelons with summertime. And so I just wanted a fun, colorful, summer-themed layout, documenting some of the things that we really enjoyed in the summer. I was born in Canada, but I was raised in South Florida. And it is very common for people to think that it's only ever cold in Canada, that it's never warm and sunny. But it can, here it was starting to get a little chillier, but it's warm and it's beautiful, especially in the summers. I gotta say, where we live right now, the winters are very, very, very cold. And I'm being told I'm not even in winter mode yet. But anyway. So here you guys can see I'm doing one of my favorite things, where I'm layering my fussy cut flowers. I think one of my favorite ways to use up my stash is to look at my patterns of papers that I'm trying to use up and see, can I fussy cut them? And if I can fussy cut them, I have done layouts where I basically am just fussy cutting from one piece of paper, and that's all the embellishments I'm using, and maybe some enamel dots and some thickers. So I really love how far you can stretch things when you just layer fussy cut flowers up. And as you can see, I'm using a lot of craft foam to create that dimension. So not every single flower is flat on the page, and not every single flower is having craft foam or adhesive embellishment with dimension coming off the page. So there's interest and there's layers. And so I really love how that looks. And the lines are all different too. So the watermelon and red polka dot type paper is actually the same piece of paper, just the A and B sides. And that's from Amy Tangerine. And then the dark kind of blue teal is also from Amy Tangerine. But the light blue teal in the middle is not. It's from my stash, and I actually can't even remember who it's from off the top of my head. And then I'm using some Hit Kit Club exclusives. And so I have about 3 or 4 different manufacturer collection designers represented on this layout. And to me, that's when I feel that's what excites me, is being able to use up my stash and mix and match different designers. And it all started with the red paper. So the red paper with the watermelon was my jumping off inspiration point after I decided this was the sketch I wanted to use. And so if you pay attention to each of my embellishment clusters, you can see I'm trying to have a word sticker of some sort in each big embellishment cluster. I have florals in each big embellishment cluster, and then I'm just trying to balance out the colors. So making sure that the colors in each embellishment cluster are represented in all the embellishment clusters. So here I'm just going through some of the ephemera that I had pulled aside to see to use on this layout. And so I'm trying to decide what I want to do for journaling. And so I know that I wanted to use some of those potentially to record my journaling. And so I put those in the middle of the layout, and then I'm just finishing the touches on the embellishment clusters. What I loved about this layout is I was able to use some ephemera that I wouldn't normally use, like the shoes, the hat. We're constantly telling our kids to wear hats when we go for these walks, because they're redheads, and so they're very susceptible to the sun, and we want to be mindful of skin cancer and just healthy skincare practices. And so the hat really cracked me up, and I wanted to get it on the layout because we're constantly saying, make sure you wear a hat. And then, man, the amount of hats we lose, is it just in my house that we lose hats like nobody's business? It's astonishing to me how many hats we lose. So yeah, so this is something that I really like to include in my embellishment clusters. I like having word phrases. So we have Summer Lovin' in the top left-hand corner, and then we have we have this word called cute, and then on the bottom left-hand corner we have stay rad, and then kind of in the middle we have wow, and then at the top of the right-hand side layout we have enjoy. Then we have yes, you can. And then the only one that doesn't have a massive word phrase but still has a word phrase is the one with the hat. The hat actually says yes. It's hard to tell from far away, but in the close-up shots, you'll see that the hat says yes. So every single embellishment cluster has a word phrase of some kind on it. And then every embellishment cluster has a star. Every embellishment cluster has the layered florals. And most of the embellishment clusters have one other big ephemera. So the hat, a camera, shoes, and cameras and sunglasses. So all things that lend themselves to telling more of the story. It's happening in the summer. We constantly are like, when we started going on these little like mini hikes, trying to teach our kids to make sure that they're wearing the right footwear. Like one time our daughter wore flip-flops and we were both like, what are you doing wearing flip-flops? Like we have to have runners on. We want to protect our feet and we want to be able to explore. And then keeping the hats on. The hats tell a story as well. And then the camera, of course, tells a story because I really enjoy capturing these moments, especially because the interaction with the wildlife was amazing. Just like seeing the ducks on the lake, seeing we saw a beaver dam. We didn't see the beaver, but we saw the beaver dam. It was just really amazing. And then watching the kids overcome climbing the rock. Our son was pretty go-getter about it, but our daughter was less so. And so it was really exciting to watch her make the challenge and go for it. You can see there too, I just opened up a simple story sticker book. And I have to say, when I first got that, I think I got it in a Hip Kit Club and I was like, I am never going to use this. I have used that simple story sticker book on so many layouts with so many different manufacturers. Somehow it is like the most versatile sticker book, even though it's supposed to all be about like traveling and exploring and adventure. I have used it so very much. So here is the sketch that I used that I decided to stretch. And if you want to get that sketch, you can use the link below to go to my Facebook group. And if you go to files, there's a PDF where you can download it and use it. And I would love to see what you create, either with the original sketch or stretching the sketch to a 2-page layout. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.